The context is actually where we fucking start the story. This is where the story begins. Once upon a time, 2 years ago, right? The normal basic start of the story. If you cannot build the context correctly, you will lose people. When you get to the change in your story, it's supposed to feel something. When you hear what that change is, you're supposed to feel something. If you don't feel anything when you watch the video, or when someone else watches your video, or if you watch someone else's video, if you don't feel anything at the change, you've done it wrong. And it comes from this. The context we build up at the start is going to determine how the video feels when it ends. We need to build up the context now, and the way we're going to be doing that is, again, using the details, the thoughts, and the emotions. And Tony, this is when I come back to your question from earlier. We need to use the details, the thoughts, and the emotions to describe the current situation. All right, this is where we need to use a combination of what happened, as in like what was the actual thing that happened, and the details, the thoughts, and the emotions there. So let's take an example. One of mine is like, cool, if I'm telling you the kind of the story of just like, you know, how I grew my personal brand, if I'm using that, like 2 years ago, I was posting every single day. I was posting every day for 600 days, and I'd only grown to 600 followers. Fucking terrible. But that's the fact. That's what happened. The best way to run this is go fact, emotion. The fact must relate to the hook. To the point of the video. What we're trying to get someone to do, the fact will relate to that. The fact of this story was 600 days, 600 posts, 600 followers, lack of results, basically. Fucking dreadful. The emotion was, all I wanted to do was get my story out to the world. All I wanted to do was be able to share my message with the world, build an audience of people that would fuck with me, and no one did because my posts never did well. Fact and emotion. Tie the emotion to the fact, and you can bring people into the journey. As soon as I tell you that at the start, I tell you that my goal was just to fucking connect with people and build up like connection with people. And the fact I was like, I didn't have it for so long, obviously the change of that story is going to be me getting it. It's going to feel so much better when you get there, because otherwise it's just numbers changing. This is emotion. To bring emotion into our stories and actually almost remember how it felt. Because when we can bring in the emotions, it's like, fuck, you're reliving the story. It's actually happening now. So this is where I'd say you want to be really, again, like kind of careful with what details, thoughts, and emotions you bring in. I would go no more than 3. No more than 3 facts and emotions. Because the more we can build the story, the more detailed we can make it, the better the persuasion comes. But also, if we go too much, we're just going to get bored. Like, fuck, this guy's just saying everything that's wrong in my life before we actually get into anything changing. The intention around this is 15 seconds, 10, 15 seconds. Just go fact, emotion, cool. That's it. Move on to the next phase there, right? One of the best hacks, the last thing I say for this, I don't even like calling it a hack, but one of the best things you can bring into this is just say what you were thinking, right? Say what you thought life would be like when you got the change. If you're on the mountain, like, oh, I just couldn't wait to be at the top of the mountain because of the view that's going to come when I get there. Just say that. Because it's like, again, you're telling your viewers that you're inside their brain. You know exactly how they're thinking because you were the same person as them. So just bring that into your story, make it so clear, and just speak about that. We all clear? Sick. Now we get into the fun part of the story. What we were leading up to the whole time.
And you keep that around like 2 to 4 sentences or something?
I'd say 10 to 15 seconds.
10 to 15 seconds?
Yeah. I don't know what is in sentences.
Yeah, gotcha.
But that's why I say just like write out bullet points and just speak it. Most of the time you find a sentence to be around 5 seconds each. Cool.